Hello students, in our last video we have discussed discrete probability distribution, binomial distribution. Now in this video I will be discussing Poisson's distribution, which is again a discrete probability distribution. Now what is the difference between binomial and Poisson? Poisson is basically a limiting case of binomial only. Okay, what is the condition? If suppose n is very large, okay, n is large and your probability is very small, then the binomial get converted into Poisson's distribution. And when we multiply a big number and a small number, we get another number m. So m is equal to np. The probability distribution for Poisson's p is equal to x is equal to x is given by e to the power minus m to the power x upon x factorial, where x represents the point at which you are finding out the probability. So now this will be the formula for probability distribution, right? And m value will be equal to np. So let us try to understand this formula using a question. Now see this question. In a certain factory, turning out razor blades, there is a small probability. The moment they say small probability, you should understand that this is an indication that it is a Poisson's distribution. So P is equal to 1 by 500. Okay, and if you observe the formula, I don't need Q here. So P is sufficient to do the question. The blades are supplied in packets of 10. Use Poisson distribution to calculate the approximate number of packets containing no defective, 1 defective, 2 defective blades in the consignment of 10,000 packets. So n is equal to 10. Correct? Now here again observe what they are asking. They are not asking me probability. They are asking me number of packets. I told you whenever they will ask the number or a count, there will be two n given. One will be of a small n and another will be the capital N. And this capital N need to be multiplied to the probability to get the number of items at the end. Okay. So now let us do this question. What is the first thing they are asking? First is they are asking probability of no defective, means probability for x is equal to 0. So if you apply the formula e to the power minus m to the power 0 upon 0 factorial, because what is a Poisson's distribution? E to the power minus m to the power x upon x factorial, and here x value is 0. And what is m value? So here only you should calculate what is m. M is equal to np. So it is equal to 1 upon 500 into 10, that is equal to 1 by 50. Okay. So the probability will be e to the power minus 1 by 50, and 1 by 50 to the power 0 is obviously 1, and 0 factorial is also 1. So my answer is e to the power minus 1 by 50. So you can use the calculator. In calculator you have e, and in that e you take the power minus 1 by 50. Okay. So now what is the value of e to the power minus 1 by 50? Use your calculator. So you will get the value 0.9802. But this is a probability. And what is the question? They are asking the number. So you have to multiply this probability by 10,000. Right? So 10,000 into 9.9802 you will do. And that will give you the number of packets. Right? So the first answer is 9802. Now let's see the second part. The second part says 1 defective. So 1 defective means what? Probability for x is equal to 1. So e to the power minus m. What is m value? Minus 1 by 50. Sorry, e to the power 1 by 50 minus 1 by 50, because formula has e to the power minus m. Then m to the power x upon x factorial. 1 factorial is 1 and anything to the power 1 is same. So e to the power minus 1 by 50 upon 1 by into 1 by 50. So 50 will come here. So this is the probability, but I need the number. So this has to be multiplied by 10,000 into e to the power minus 1 by 50 upon 50. Take your calculator calculate this, you will get approximately 196. You may get in decimal, you have to round it up because it is a count. Now the third case is, what is the third question? 2 defective. 2 defective means probability for x is equal to 2. So it is e to the power minus 1 by 50, 1 by 50 to the power 2 upon 2 factorial, right? And since you have to find out the number, this will give you the probability. When you multiply it by 10,000, you will get the number which is approximately equal to 2. So this is how you have to do the questions. Now come to the next one. Obtain the mean, variance and standard deviation for Poisson distribution. So this is a derivation and it is very important derivation and very simple derivation. So now let us start with the derivation. We know that for discrete probability distribution, what is mean? Mean is represented by mu and its formula is summation x px x from 0 to n. Right? In binomial also I did exactly same thing. Now, when I was doing binomial, in place of p, I substituted the value of binomial distribution. Now since I am doing the Poisson distribution, I should substitute the value of probability distribution for Poissons. So what is the formula? E to the power minus m, m to the power x upon x factorial. Right? Again, I will use the same concept ki I don't want this x. So if I don't want this x, I will open x factorial by the definition of factorial and I can rewrite this result as x e to the power minus m, okay, upon x minus 1 factorial m to the power x minus 1 into m. See, if you remember the binomial distribution, same derivation we did. There also I reduced n to n minus 1 factorial, x to x minus 1 factorial, and p to the power x I split it as p to the power x minus 1 into p. Same thing I have done here with m. Right? Now, the moment you do this, the limit has to be changed from 1 to n because negative factorial I should not have. Now, this x and this x is gone. So what is a term without x because this summation is for x. So m is independent of it. So e to the power minus m I can take out, m I can take out. So in summation I am left for x is equal to 1 to n, m to the power x minus 1 upon x minus 1 factorial. Now let us open this summation. E to the power minus m into m. Now how to open a summation? First put x is equal to 1. If you put x is equal to 1, you will get m to the power 0 upon 0 factorial. Plus now you put x is equal to 2. So you will get m to the power 1 upon 1 factorial. Plus m to the power 2 upon 2 factorial. Like this you will get a series. Now e to the power minus m, what is left? 1 plus m square upon 2 factorial plus m cube upon 3 factorial, like this. Now what is this series in the bracket? It is an exponential series. So this is the series for e to the power m. So e to the power m and e to the plus m and minus m got cancelled. And so we got that mean for Poisson distribution is equal to m. So this is our first derivation. What is the mean of Poisson's distribution? Mean of Poisson's distribution is m. Now let us do for variance. Now what is variance expression? The variance expression is summation x square px minus mu square. Okay. And x is from 0 to n. Now again I will split this x square in the same way as I did for the binomial distribution. So I can write it like this: x minus 1 px. Now here this into this will give x square px, which is there. What is the additional thing coming? Minus x px. So do plus x px minus mu square. Right? Now this thing what you will do? Substitute the value of px. Okay. So now this is x minus 1. Px is e to the power minus m to the power x upon x factorial plus this is the formula for mu. So write mu minus mu square, right? So now this x and x minus 1 is there. So x factorial should be open for 2 steps instead of 1 step. Like in mean you went down by 1 step. So for variance you go down by 2 steps. I don't have a space here. Just give me a second so that I can create the space. Okay. So let's continue with our derivation. So now this is equal to summation, and as I told you, whenever you open this factorial, you have to change the summation limit. Now it will be from x is equal to 2 to n, because negative factorial I can't define. So x minus 1, e to the power minus m, denominator x minus 1, x minus 2 factorial, m to the power x minus 2, and m square, because these two combined will form m to the power x, plus mu minus mu square. Now again the summation is there, x and x cancel, x minus 1 cancel, e to the power minus m is independent, m square is independent of summation. So what is left? Summation x is equal to 2 to n, m to the power x minus 2 upon x minus 2 factorial, plus mu is what? For Poisson distribution, mean is m. So mu square will be m square. So here you have e to the power minus m square. Now open the summation. If you open the summation, if you put 2, you will get 1. Then if you put 3, you will get m. Then if you put next number, you will get the exponential series e to the power m plus m minus m square. So clearly here e to the power m, e to the power minus m is gone, m square minus m square is gone, and I got variance is equal to m. So if variance is equal to m, then what is the standard deviation? Sigma is equal to under root of variance, that is under root of m. So for the binomial distribution, we have already discussed. For the Poisson's distribution, what you can conclude? For the Poisson's distribution, probability is given by e to the power minus m to the power x upon x factorial. Mean is m, variance is m, and standard deviation is root m. So this you have to remember for doing the questions. Okay. So now let's come to the next question. What is the question? Given that 2% of the fuses manufactured by a firm are defective. 2% means what? Probability is equal to 2 by 100. That is 1 by 50. Correct? Now remember, in Poisson's distribution, my target is to get m because the formula has m. So p to I got. Now find by using Poisson's distribution the probability that a box containing 200 fuses has. So n is equal to 200. So what is m? M is equal to np. So 200 into 1 by 50. So 0 0 gone, 5 1s are 5 4s are. So m value is 4. So what is the Poisson's distribution formula? Probability for x is equal to e to the power minus m to the power x upon x factorial. Right? And in this particular question, probability for x is equal to e to the power minus 4 to the power x upon x factorial. Right? So this will be for particularly this question. Now, what is the first part? No defective fuses. No defective fuses means probability for x is equal to 0. Right? So e to the power minus 4 to the power 0 upon 0 factorial. Anything to the power 0 is 1. 0 factorial is also 1. So my answer is e to the power minus 4. Now all of you have calculator. So you can use your calculator and evaluate the value of e to the power minus 4. You can use shift along with ln so that you will get e to the power minus 4. Right? So this is how you have to calculate. Now this value, if you observe, it is 0.0183. Now go to the next question. The next question is 3 or more defective fuses. Now understand this carefully. I am saying probability for x is equal to 3 or more. Means 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 up to 200. So obviously that much I can't do. So what you have to do? 1 minus what I don't want. I don't want 0. I don't want 1. I don't want 2. And I want 3. So I don't want till 2. So my answer will be 1 minus p of 0, 1 and 2. So 1 minus what is probability for 0? The probability for 0 we just now calculated 0.0183. Probability for 1 is what? E to the power minus 4. 4 to the power 1 upon 1 factorial. Probability for 2 is e to the power minus 4. 4 square upon 2 factorial. Now use your calculator and solve this. So what will be the answer? This is for 3 or more defective fuses. So this is 0.7621. Right? Same way you can do for at least one defective. At least one means what? At least one means 1 and above. So probability for x is greater than or equal to 1 is what? 1 minus probability for 0. Now probability for 0 you have already calculated. So 1 minus 0.0183 will be the answer. Right? So now let's move to the next question. Okay. So first let me make a space over here. Okay. So now look at this question. The number of accidents in a year to taxi drivers in a city follows a Poisson distribution with mean 3. If I am saying mean 3 means directly m is given as 3. Now out of 1000 taxi drivers, so this is your capital N. Okay, find approximately the number of drivers. So remember, not probability, they are asking number. So find probability and multiply it by capital N. Now what is the first part? First of all, always write the formula. Probability for x is equal to x is equal to e to the power minus m, m to the power x upon x factorial. And in this particular case, e to the power minus 3, 3 to the power x upon x factorial. Now what is the first part? No accident means probability for x is equal to 0 is e to the power minus 3, 3 to the power 0 upon 0 factorial. So e to the power minus 3. Correct? Now come to the second one. More than 3 accident in the year. Obviously more than 3 I can't calculate, so many are there. So what I don't want? I don't want 0, 1 and 2 and 3. So I'll do 1 minus probability for 0 plus probability of 1 plus probability of 2 plus probability of 3. Remember 3 will also be included because they are saying more than 3 accidents. So 3 also they don't want, more than 3 accidents they want. Right? So now substitute the value. 1 minus e to the power minus 3, 3 to the power 0, 0 factorial plus e to the power minus 3, 3 to the power 1 upon 1 factorial plus e to the power minus 3, 3 square upon 2 factorial plus e to the power minus 3, 3 cube upon 3 factorial. Now this easily you can solve by taking out e to the power minus 3 common. When you take e to the power minus 3 common, you are left with 1 plus 3 plus 3 square by 2 plus 3 cube by 3 factorial, that is 6. Right? Now take out calculator, find out the value of e to the power minus 3 and you will get the probability. Now remember, this is the probability. And what is the question? This will be 0.35. Right? So this is the probability. But what is the question? You have to find out the number. So what you have to do? You have to multiply this by capital N, that is 1000. Right? So when you multiply this by 1000, you will get e to the power minus 3 is what? 0.05. So number will be, if you multiply this by 1000, you will get 50. Right? Same way here, when you will multiply it by 1000, you will get 350. So this will be your answer. Right? Let's move to the next question. Okay. So now the probability that an individual suffer with a bad reaction from a certain injection is 0.001. So P is equal to 0.001. Using Poisson distribution, determine the probability that out of 2000 individuals, so N is equal to 2000. So what is M? M is equal to 0.001 into 20,000 or 2000. Right? So m is equal to 2. Right? So what is the probability distribution for Poisson? It is e to the power minus m to the power x upon x factorial. In this particular question, e to the power minus 2 to the power x upon 2 factorial. Oh, sorry, x factorial. Correct? Now let us see what they are asking. Exactly 3. Exactly 3 means what? You have to put x is equal to 3. So e to the power minus 2 to the power 3 upon 3 factorial. Right? So this will give you the answer. Now next, probability for more than 2 will suffer a bad reaction. More than 2 means 3, 4, 5, 6 like that till 2000. So what I don't want, when you are asking for probability for x is greater than 2. So this is 1 minus what I don't want. I don't want 0. I don't want 1. I don't want 2. Correct? So this is what I don't want. So that is what I will be calculating. So 1 minus what is probability for 0? E to the power minus 2 to the power 0 upon 0 factorial plus e to the power minus 2 to the power 1 upon 1 factorial plus e to the power minus 2 square upon 2 factorial. Correct? So 1 minus e to the power minus 2 you can take out. So 1 plus 2 plus 4 by 2. Right? So this will be equal to 0.3222. So this is how you have to do the questions. Questions are very easy. Just remember the formula. Now look at this question. A shop has 4 diesel generator sets which it hires every day. The demand for the generator set on an average is Poisson variate with value 5 by 2. Means m is equal to 5 by 2. Obtain the probability that on a particular day there was no demand. So what is the probability formula here? Pause the video, try to do it yourself. So e to the power minus m to the power x upon x factorial. So e to the power minus 5 by 2 to the power x upon x factorial. Now there was no demand means x is equal to 0. So probability for x is equal to 0 is equal to e to the power minus 5 by 2 to the power 0 upon 0 factorial. So this will become e to the power minus 5 by 2. So take out your calculator and calculate this. Now a demand had to be refused. Now tell me when the demand will be refused. Obviously they are having only 4 diesel generator. So whenever the demand is more than 4, it has to be refused, right? So what is the question? How you will obtain the answer for this? It will be refused when the probability for x is greater than 4, right? So here the answer is, this one is, you can write 0.082. Okay. Now the second case will be probability when x is greater than 4. Greater than 4, obviously I can't calculate. So 1 minus probability of 0 plus probability of 1 plus probability of 3 plus probability of 4 plus probability of 5 is okay. So till 4 you should do, right? When you put the value and calculate, it will be 0.10882. Okay, so let's move to the next question. So this one you find out. Okay, this, see, I forgot to write 2 here. So here you write down 2 plus p of 2 also. Okay, now come to the next one. The probability of Poisson variate taking the values 3 and 4 are equal. Okay, calculate the probabilities of variate taking the values 0 and 1. Now what they are saying, p of 3 and p of 4 are equal. Now what is p of 3? P of 3 will be m to the power 3, not m to the power, you write down first probability formula. What is p of x is equal to x? E to the power minus m to the power x upon x factorial. So when I am doing p of 3, x is equal to 3. So e to the power minus m to the power 3 upon 3 factorial is equal to e to the power minus m to the power 4 upon 4 factorial. e to the power minus m and e to the power minus m gone. Okay. M cube and m cube is gone. So 1 is equal to m here, and 4 factorial is what? 4 into 3 factorial, and here it is 3 factorial. 3 factorial, 3 factorial also gone. So m is equal to 4. Now what they are asking? Find the probabilities for 0 and 1. So what is probability for x is equal to 0? E to the power minus m, m to the power 0 upon 0 factorial. So e to the power minus 4, m to the power 0 is 1, 0 factorial is 1. So answer is e to the power minus 4. Correct? Same way, probability for x is equal to 1 is e to the power minus 4, then 4 to the power 1 upon 1 factorial. So answer is 4 e to the power minus 4. You have calculator, you can evaluate this value and you'll get the answer. So I hope you understood the Poisson's distribution. So like the video, share the video and subscribe the video so that the moment I'll upload a new video, you will get the notification. My next video will be based on continuous probability distribution, normal distribution, and after that we will do joint probability. Thank you.